Hi there, and thanks for joining Cappuccino Conversations, where we talk about innovation. In particular, of course, we're celebrating the upcoming 5th South African Innovation Summit, which is going to be held on the 28th, 29th and 30th of August in Bryanston. We're talking to a lot of the speakers who are going to be there, and I'm talking today to Adrie El Mohamadi, who is one of those speakers. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And welcome. I'm going to kick right off by asking you about the space that you operate in. Specifically, you facilitate in systems and innovation systems. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I'm working for the National Foundry Technology Network, which is a program of the Department of Trade and Industry.
Okay.
And mainly that is to try and facilitate and get the network around the foundry industry in South Africa to work better.
Okay.
And the reason why the foundry industry is so important is because the Department of Trade and Industry has made it one of the important programs in the Industrial Policy Action Plan.
Okay.
So because it's one of the first links within the metals manufacturing sector.
Right. And this is exactly the space that your talk is going to be in?
Yes, it's basically about the different stakeholders within an industry to make that innovation system work.
And it's kind of complicated, isn't it? Because you're dealing with government and kind of from a more of a factory kind of space. And then this, do you want to talk a little bit about those stakeholders and how the difficulties in getting those people to innovate together?
Sure. The four areas or the four stakeholder groups that we normally look at is government, we're looking at academia, the research institutions, and then also the industry, which is obviously the one of the most important ones. And those groups are not naturally inclined to work with each other, to share. You often find industry saying that academia is too slow, they just want to do research, or you find academia saying that industry is, think that they're behind. Unstructured. And it's to get those to work together, because we believe that it's once you get these silos to work together, it's in between those that you get innovation.
The great ideas come from there. Yeah. That's fantastic. Now, I like to ask everybody who comes here to tell me a little bit about the previous life. Before everybody was in innovation, they were in something else, because innovation is kind of a new trend, isn't it? It's new and it's happening. What is your background?
I've got an interesting background.
Okay.
I started after school, I did a fashion design course. And then I moved from there into museology and specifically rural development.
Fantastic. Okay.
And then after that I started to work for a German company, GTZ, and which is now changed to GIZ, the German International Cooperation. And it was there that I've really learned about innovation, systems of innovation, you know, that kind of area.
Because that trend's been going quite a bit, obviously, in Europe. And so, now, how do you think South Africa compares in terms of the international market in innovation? I mean, I see a lot of innovation around us, but I see that on the index, in fact, we're something like 52, number 52 on the innovation index as a country. How do you think we are doing as innovators?
I think we are an innovative nation, but I do think that because of the place where we are in our democracy, that we are still holding on or controlling a lot within our systems. And because of that, it's sort of, in some cases, hampering innovation. Okay. And of course, the new trend of innovation is a lot of people are talking about open innovation and sharing, which is the space that you're in as well. How are we doing as South Africans in that space? Because it's kind of difficult for people with ideas to share sometimes. I've found that often people think, you know, the whole idea of knowledge is power. Somehow people think that keeping that knowledge is the power, but it's in actual fact sharing.
Where the real strength comes in numbers,
and it's for us to change our mindsets around that. That's important. And I don't think it comes natural to humankind.
It's difficult.
And even with with working groups, task teams, those kind of things that are a natural inclination within the European environment. We're struggling with that.
We struggle with that a little bit. We tend to internalize things a little bit, right?
Want to solve our own problems.
And it's not for lack, or not for being selfish or anything like that. It's possibly just that it's a new thing and we have to get people used to it a little. Now, in your session, who would be people who should come to your session? I find, again, when we talk to people at top management, it's kind of difficult to filter it down. If you talk to people at the bottom, it's difficult to get the idea going. Who do you suggest should come to your session as a mix of people in the company?
I would say definitely management, whether it's middle management and maybe even top management.
Okay.
People interested in economies, people within, interested in innovation, systems of innovation, and then most probably people that facilitators, those kind of group would be interested in.
Fantastic. So we're looking forward to hearing more of that information. If you are going to check out online, do go onto the Innovation Summit's website, which is on the screen right now, and check it out a little bit and get a little bit more information. I'm also going to ask you in closing to give me a little bit of a sketch of the kind of, would you be facilitating in the session? Would you be giving tools? Would you be giving tips?
What I would basically do is to draw on the experience of my last 12 years and explain the types of tools, and if I say tools, it's more the types of methods that we've used in order to get industries to work better together.
As success stories. Yeah. Okay. And also, of course, the summit this year, something quite fantastic is that candidates can open up conversations long before already. Yeah. So at this stage, maybe also just to make viewers aware that you can go online and start a conversation with Adrie already and see if there's any questions that you have before, or prep. Is there something that people should prep or be ready for your session? Should they bring some information to your session?
I would say come with an open mind.
Come with an open mind.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Have a fantastic session. We look forward to seeing you at the Innovation Summit.
And thank you for having me.
Great stuff. Thank you. And thanks for watching Cappuccino Conversations. Until another time, goodbye.